It all starts in the theater. It starts on the opening night of the new season. It starts with the arrival of all those dear and devoted patrons of the arts as they wave and greet each other in grand salon, commenting on how this one looks and how that one is dressed, scarcely knowing what play it is they're about to see this evening. With exception, one woman, Ivana Ilyich Cherdakov. If Ivana Ilyich Cherdakov, a clerk, a civil servant, working in the Ministry of Public Parks, had any passion in life at all, it was the theater. She certainly had hopes and ambitions for higher office. She had dedicated her life to hard work, zeal, and patience. Still, she would not deny herself this one great love. So she purchased 2 tickets in the very best section of the theater for tonight's opening of Rostov's The Bearded Countess. And as fortune would have it, into the theater tonight will come her respected superior, General Mikhail Brazohov, the Minister of Public Parks himself.
Good evening, General.
Oh, what? Good evening.
Permit me, sir. I am Cherdakov, Ivana Ilyich. This is a great honor for me, sir.
Yes.
Like yourself, dear General, I too serve the Ministry of Public Parks. That is to say, I serve you, who is indeed the Minister of Public Parks. I am the Chief Assistant in the Department of Trees and Bushes.
Oh yes, keep up the good work. Very nice bushes and trees this year. Very nice.
My brother would like very much to say hello, General. This is my brother, Yuri Anton Cherdakov.
How do you do, General?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, General.
How do you do?
Lieutenant Colonel, my brother, Mr. Cherdakov.
How do you do, Lieutenant Colonel?
How do you do?
I just had the pleasure of meeting your general.
And I am my brother's sister. How do you do, Lieutenant Colonel?
Shh! Sorry, my apologies.
I do hope you enjoy the play, sir.
If I can watch it.
Feeling quite pleased with herself for making the most of this golden opportunity, Ivana Ilyich Cherdakov sat back to enjoy the Bearded Countess. She was no longer a stranger to the Minister, Public Parks. They had become, if one wanted to be generous about the matter, familiar with each other. And then quite suddenly, without any warning, like a bolt from a great thundering sky, Ivana Ilyich Cherdakov reared her head back and...
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Excellency. I'm so terribly sorry.
It is all right.
All right? It most certainly is not all right. It was unpardonable. It was monstrous of me.
Let it rest.
How can I let it rest? Permit me to white your neck, sir. It's the least I can do.
Let it rest, I say.
But I splattered you. Your complete head is splattered. It was an accident, I assure you, but it's disgusting.
Shh. Sorry, my apologies.
The thing is, Your Excellency, it came completely without warning. It was out of my nose before I could even stifle it.
Shh.
Shh, yes, certainly. I'm sorry. It's not a cold, if that's what you're worried about. Probably a dust particle in the nostril.
But, try as she might, Chertakov could not put the incident out of her mind. The sneeze, no more than an innocent anatomical accident, had grown out of all proportion. She played the incident back in her mind, slowing the procedure down so she could view again in horror the infamous deed.
Yes, as long as you live.
Charming, wasn't it?
Yes, charming.
Charming, wasn't it, Lieutenant?
I found it utterly charming.
Tapping? Who is tapping?
I'm tapping. I'm the tapper.
Stand back, sir! It's a sneezer!
No, it's alright. I'm all sneezed out. You see, I was just concerned for you going into the air with the damp head.
Oh, it was a trifle. A mere faux pas. Was an amusing play, wasn't it?
Yes, amusing. Oh goodness, yes. So true. I haven't laughed that much in years.
What part interests you the most?
The sneeze. When I sneezed on you. It was unforgivable.
Forget it, young lady. Lieutenant Colonel, looks like it's gonna rain. Don't want to get my head wet again.
No one should sneeze at you like that, sir. You should never be sneezed at.
I'm ruined. Ruined! He'll fire me from trees and bushes. I'll be sent down to branches and twigs.
Calm, Ivana.
What?
You mustn't let it concern you. It was just a harmless little sneeze. The general must have already forgotten it by now.
Do you really think so?
No. I'm scared, Ivana.
Chertakov's once promising career had literally been blown away.
Perhaps if we were to send him a nice gift, maybe some Turkish towels?
I don't know, Ivana.
Why did this happen to me? Why did I go to the theater at all? Why didn't we sit up in the balcony with people of our own class? They love sneezing on each other.
Go to bed, Ivana.
Perhaps. If I were to call in the general and explain matters again, but in such a charming, honest, and self-effacing manner, he would have no choice but to forgive me.
Maybe it's best just not to remind him, Ivana.
No. If I ever expect to become a woman of class, I must behave like one.
And so the morning came. It just so happened today was the day the general was seeing petitions. And because there was 50 to 60 petitions in front of Chertakov, she had to wait from early morning till late afternoon.
Next.
I'm not next, sir. I'm last.
Very well then. Last. Well, what is your petition?
I have no petition, sir. I'm not a petitioner.
Then you waste my time.
Do you not recognize me? We met last night under rather explosive circumstances. I am the splatterer.
The what?
The splatterer. The one who sneezed. The sneezing splatterer.
What is it you want now? A gesundheit?
No, Your Excellency, your forgiveness. I just wanted to point out that there was no political or antisocial motivation behind my sneeze. It's a nonpartisan, nonviolent act of God. I curse the day the protuberance formed itself upon my face. It's a hateful nose, sir, and I am not responsible for its indiscretions. Punish that which committed the crime, but absolve the innocent body behind it. Exile my nose, but forgive me, your kindship, forgive me.
My dear young lady, I'm not mad at your nose. I'm too busy to worry about your nasal problems. What I suggest you do is go home, take a cold bath or a hot one, take something. But don't bother me with this silly business again.
Thank you, Your Excellency. God bless you and your sibling and your household. May your days be sweet and your nights be better than your days.
The feeling of relief that came over Cherdakov was enormous. The weight of the burden that was lifted, inestimable. She walked home, singing and whistling like a lark. Life was surely a joy, a heavenly paradise. And yet, she began to think, had the minister toyed with her? If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Cherdakov to foam and fume? Cherdakov was furious.
Yay! Yay!
What is it, Ivana?
I have been humiliated.
You, Ivana? Who'd humiliate you? You're such a kind and generous person.
I'll tell you who. General Brasselhoff, Minister of Public Parks.
What did he do?
The swine! He humiliated me in such subtle fashion it was almost indiscernible. The man's cunning is equal only to his cruelty. He practically forced me to come to his office to grovel and beg on my knees. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I must go back and tell him what I think of him. Women must speak up. The world must be made safe so that men and women of all nations and creeds, regardless of color or religion, may be free to sneeze on their superiors. It is he that shall be humiliated by I.
And so the next morning, Cherdakov came to humiliate he.
Last. Well?
Well? Do you not recognize me? Look at my face. Yes, you're quite correct. It is I once again.
It is you once again who?
Cherdakov, Excellency, having taken neither a hot bath nor a cold one.
Who let this filthy woman in here? What is it that you want? What is it that you want?
What is it? What is it, you ask? You sit there behind your desk and ask, what is it? You sit there in your lofty position as General and Minister of Public Parks, a member in high standing among the upper class, a man, and ask me, a lowly civil servant, a woman, what is it? You sit there with full understanding that there is no equality in this world. There's some of us who bow and some of us who are bowed to. There are those of us who obey and those of us who are obeyed. That in this life, certain events happen that cause some of us humiliation and others to be the cause of the humiliation. And still you ask, what is it?
What is it that you want?
I'll tell you what I want. I want to apologize again for sneezing on you. I wasn't sure if I made it absolutely clear. It was an accident. An accident, I assure you.
Out! Out, you imbecile! You fool! I never want to see you again. Get out of my sight. If you ever cross my line of vision again, I will exile you forever. What is your name?
Chernikoff!
You germ spreader! You maggot! You insect! You are lower than an insect! You are the second niece of a cockroach! You are the daughter-in-law of a ringworm! You are nothing! Nothing! You hear me? You are nothing!
At that moment, something broke loose inside of Chernikoff. Something so deep and vital, so organic, that the damage that was done seemed irreparable. Something drained from her that can only be described as the very life force itself. The matter was over for once, for all, forever. And what happened next was quite simple. Ivana Ilyich Chernikoff arrived at her home, laid down in her bed, and died. There is an alternate ending for those of you who cannot handle life's cruelties. Ivana Ilyich Chernikoff arrived at her home, laid down in her bed, and inherited $5 million.